I really enjoy attending events like this where there is just a massive mix of overland built vehicles, all kinds of camping setups, and a whole lot of great food. In this video, we're going to take a look around and just check out some cool rigs, some cool camp setups, see what everybody's eating, and then my good buddy Marco has got a very special meal planned. Stay tuned. Welcome to TrailRecon, I'm Brad, and today we are out here in the middle of the desert, just on the east side of Anza Borrego, and just out here camping and having a great time with a whole bunch of folks. This event is the 2019 Desert Rendezvous, and it's put on by the folks from American Adventurist, and the great thing about this event is this is not big booths and people trying to sell stuff. This is just a bunch of folks out here camping and having a good time and getting to know each other, checking out vehicles, checking out camping gear, checking out food. It's really just a user's event. Now there's a couple vendors out here, but they are just here to enjoy the experience and get to know folks, so I really appreciate that. Now what I want to do in this video is just take you around and let's just go check out some cool rigs, because there are Jeeps, there's some Toyotas, there's Fords, there's Chevys, there's some big rigs, and there's some small ones. There are people that have just the minimalist camp setups, and there's the ones that have the overblown camp setups, which is, you know, one extreme or the other. And then everybody, it's just cooking up some great food. The smells in camp during lunch and dinner is just going to be amazing. And Marco, my good buddy who loves to cook, is going to share with you a carne asada sandwich meal that you can make at camp, and it should be very easy. But first, let's go take a look around at camp and check out some cool stuff.
So what is the best vehicle for overlanding? Well, in my opinion, there is absolutely no one size fits all. A large luxury vehicle like this off-road camper here is perfect if your budget allows and you want all the creature comforts of an RV. But if you want to head off the highway and explore, you're not going to be able to tackle some narrow and difficult trails in something like this. These four-wheel drive Sprinter vans are becoming more popular as they are just a little bit more nimble off-road, and they still offer plenty of options built inside. I've personally always been a fan of the Sportsmobiles. They are very capable four-wheel drive vans, but small enough that you can get off the beaten path. If you find yourself in some terrible weather conditions, having a setup like this where you can just enclose yourself in the vehicle is pretty nice. There were plenty of full-size trucks out here, and the great thing about having a half-ton truck or bigger is you have a large payload capacity for all your gear and a camper if you choose. Ram trucks seem to be the most popular at this event, but some nicely built Toyota Tundras have been popping up lately. Full-size trucks are very practical for everyday use, and you don't need a full-on built truck to have a great adventure. Just throw your gear in the back, put it in four-wheel drive, and head out to the desert. They'll take you to some great destinations. There were also lots of well-built Toyota Tacomas and a few 4Runners here, and if you still want to have a nice payload capacity but be a little more nimble on the trail, these are a great option compared to a full-size truck. The aftermarket support for overland-specific equipment for the Toyotas has really exploded over the last few years. It was great to get the opportunity to see just such a variety of outfitted four-wheel drive vehicles. You know, some are more off-road capable and others are just more comfortable on those long trips, and others are better for the weekend warrior who needs to daily drive their vehicle. New or old, every vehicle has its strength and its weaknesses. If you're trying to decide on what off-road vehicle is right for you, coming to events like this can be really helpful because you get to talk with owners and not car dealers to get an idea of what fits your needs and your budget. And of course, there were several well-built Jeeps here at the event. And you know, it's my personal preference just because I can carry what I need on long adventures and still be able to tackle some very challenging trails. Whether you're a rock crawler or an overlander, or in my case, both, I guess a rocklander. Is that a thing? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Outfitting your Jeep is very easy because all of the aftermarket support, but honestly, they are really capable just in stock form. A Jeep may not be for everyone, especially if you have a large family and you just need that extra space. I love my Wrangler, and it has taken me on some amazing adventures.
One of the very cool things about this event is this is just an average guys get together, and so there are all types of different tents out here, and actually the ground tents outnumber the rooftop tents, which is pretty cool. So we'll walk around and show you a few of them, but my favorite one here, I have to say, has got to be the Nemo habitat that's on the top of this yellow Jeep. Man, I would love to have that. Let's go take a look at some tents.
There were so many different tent setups out here. Just like a vehicle, a tent has to fit your needs. Most of the folks out here preferred a ground tent, and for very good reason. Most of the ground tents are budget friendly, easy enough to pack up, and a fraction of the weight of a rooftop tent. I used a ground tent for many years, and now I just prefer to sleep up off the ground. These cot tents are a nice option, but they do have mixed reviews. Sleeping in the back of your vehicle is a great solution as long as you don't mind removing everything when it's time to hit the sack. There are many rooftop tent options out there these days, and while they are pricey, if you will be using it often like I do, they can be a good investment. Built-in camper tents like the Ursa Minor or the Nemo one that I showed you in the beginning, or a full-on camper are all very convenient as long as your budget allows for it. Pulling a trailer to store your gear and to throw a tent up on top is a great solution if you'll be doing a lot of base camping. For me, I'm almost always on the go, and I like to hit some difficult trails along the way, so a trailer just doesn't fit my style, but there are some really nice trailer options out there if you're in the market.
Something we don't talk about often on the channel is, where do you go to the restroom when you're out on the trail or out here camping? Well, when you're with a large group like this on a dry lake bed, sometimes it's tough to find a little bit of privacy. You know, there's not a whole lot of bushes around here. So having one of these privacy tents where you can, do a little bit of showering and hygiene and use a little portable toilet is nice to have with you. These are easy to pop up. Let's go take a look at a couple options.
Okay, I can't believe we're talking about places to go number 1 and number 2, but look, it's important. My wife has scolded me many times for forgetting a privacy tent. It's one of those essential items for many people out there. You can buy these tents relatively cheap or spend a little bit more money for the nicer ones, but when you are in locations like this, these are really nice to have. You can take a shower inside, you can change your clothes, and when Mother Nature calls, you can take care of your business.
So no matter what gear you prefer to bring when you're out on these kind of trips, you've got to find a way to pack it. And whether you use boxes or bags, you've just got to find a way to organize it so you can get to what you need when you need it. Now for me, I have been working on this storage system here recently, and if you watched the last video where we built the platform and I talked a little bit about this fridge, we've got a little bit further since then. We've got it all framed in, and we'll be working on the drawers here soon. So I'll be sharing that video with you. But I got to tell you just really quick, super happy with this drawer refrigerator. It has worked out great these last couple days. Once we get the drawers in, more video to follow. But let's walk around and take a look at some other folks' storage setups. Really nice just to check out, see how people pack.
I think I probably could do an entire video on tips and tricks to packing your gear. It really is a little bit of an art form for some, and well, for other folks not so much, but some semblance of organization will help you access stuff when you need it. One thing I learned while I was in the Navy was how to pack a lot in a small space, and it has served me well over the years. Knowing what to bring with you when you are overlanding comes with experience. I used to bring a lot of stuff that I no longer bring with me, and I've swapped out a few things and added a couple items along the way. My advice to folks starting out is to take the bare minimum with you the first few times. Something to sleep in, water, food, something to keep your perishable foods cool. Then figure out while you're out there camping what you really need. Don't go out and spend hundreds of dollars on gear only to find out later it was something you really didn't need. There were only a handful of setups out here that were using some kind of solar system. Having a dual battery setup or solar power is nice if you're going to be stationary for multiple days and you're running a fridge. For me, with my fridge and needing to charge my camera gear, this Goal Zero battery with a 50-watt solar panel works really well. When it comes to cooking, you have many choices. At this event, the Tempotest Scottle seemed to be one of the favorites. It's really like a wok on legs that's heated with a standard propane burner. I've seen some amazing food cooked up on some of these things. Others, like myself, are using more of a traditional camp cook stove, And one thing is for sure, having a great meal when you are out camping can really lift spirits and helps bring people together. There was so much great food being cooked around camp during this weekend, and for one of the dinners, they hosted a cook-off. There was a lot of folks getting creative and conjuring up some savory dishes. There was no shortage of tasty food this weekend. Now, my good friend Marco insisted on cooking up something for you.
All right, guys, by popular request, Marco is going to do another little cooking segment, and I know you've got something very tasty in store as always. But man, what about this event? This has just been so much fun.
The Desert Rendezvous is always delivers. I love it.
I mean, I love, getting in the Jeep and going and finding a new place and getting and going, but sometimes it's nice just to kind of relax and camp and just chill out a little bit.
Chill out.
Now, I know there's a big camping competition going on behind us, but we're not entering that.
No way. I don't cook against real cooks.
Okay. All right. Tell everybody. That's good because that means more for me. Tell everybody what you've got in store.
For you guys, I'm gonna make carne asada tortas.
Okay.
With sauce that I just came out with.
Okay. Tell us about the sauce.
This is Greek yogurt.
Okay.
It's got guacamole.
Okay.
It's got jalapeno, garlic, onion, vinegar, and some salt and pepper and olive oil.
Okay, now that's the only thing that you've pre-made for this. Everything else we're making fresh here, right?
Correct.
Okay, guys, so check out the description and we'll make sure you have all the ingredients for what's in the Marco's secret sauce. Can we call it that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What else you got?
We're gonna have some goat cheese.
Okay.
As a spread on the sandwich.
All right.
And for vegetables, some spinach.
Okay.
That's all you need for your carne asada. Right?
Okay, now you're doing the beef for us red meat lovers, but
Yes.
you're also going to do some fish for yourself.
Yes, I'm gonna do the same fish that I did the other day with light bright.
Okay.
Which is in a foil.
Yeah.
Covered foil with vegetables and on the grill.
Okay, awesome, dude. So this is pretty easy, guys. We're going to show you how easy this is to prep and cook it up, and I can't wait to taste it, man. I can't
Let's
wait.
do it.
First, we started by getting some mesquite charcoal good and hot in the flat pit grill. Then Marco laid out the meat and gave it a liberal sprinkling of salt and pepper. These were thin strips of steak, so just a couple minutes on each side is all that is needed. Then he sliced up some of the ciabatta bread and just lightly toasted it on the grill. Before he assembled the sandwich, I needed to try some of the Marco Overland special sauce.
The Marco special sauce that goes on last.
Yes.
Can I try it? I gotta try this.
Try it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's got so much flavor to it, man. That's gonna be delicious on there. Oh, dude, we gotta get these cooking. I gotta have one of these sandwiches.
You got it.
Once the meat was ready and the bread was lightly toasted, he spread on a thick amount of the goat cheese. Then he added some of the fresh spinach, added the slice of carne asada, and then the finishing touch with the Marco Overland sauce. At least that's what I'm calling it.
I get first dibs?
Go ahead, buddy.
Oh man, this smells so good, guys. I wish you could smell the meat and that goat cheese melting on there. And it just, oh, I gotta get into this. The bread is perfect, and the meat and your sauce and the goat cheese. Nice job. Guys,
You like it, man?
easy to make, super tasty. Thanks, brother.
He must have made a dozen of these sandwiches for everyone to enjoy, and you could quickly tell from everyone's reaction that this was a camping meal hit for sure. Now, because Marco doesn't eat red meat, for himself he made some steamed fish. He took some codfish, chopped up some onions, added a little garlic, and then laid down some bok choy and some napa, laid some of the chunks of the codfish over the napa, then threw on some Old Bay seasoning, a liberal amount of salt and pepper, and a few chunks of butter, and then just wrapped it up in the tin foil and let it slow cook over the grill.
Put it on top of the grill for about 10-15 minutes. That should be enough.
All right, buddy, the fish is done.
Done.
You gotta taste it. Tell us how it tastes.
Oh, look at that.
Let's take a look. Oh man, that looks delicious and it smells so good.
Those spices give it a lot of flavor.
Well, I'm ready to dig in on a bite of that because it smells great, man. Awesome job tonight cooking, Marco. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
The 2019 Desert Rendezvous has been so much fun. There's some great people out here with some amazing vehicles. It's been really cool taking a look at everybody's stuff. Now, for me personally, I really like to be kind of on the move and going to a new place each and every day. But once in a while, it's okay to just kind of slow down and just camp and relax and plant yourself in a spot for a couple days. So this has been fun, but I'm looking forward to hitting another trail here soon. Look, if you enjoyed taking a look at everybody's gear, what was the one thing that stood out to you? What did you like the most? Let me know down in the comments below. And hey, look, if you're visiting TrailRecon for the first time, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a member of the TrailRecon team. Please remember to travel the trails responsibly. Thanks for watching.